what do you remember specifically changing your training when you were just training for powerlifting or at the Colorado School of Mines, those strength coaches, and you went to Coach Landau and you were specifically training for this 225 rep test? Do you remember anything that stood out for you? Like, oh, this is much different than what I have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really train for the 225 until I got with Coach Landau, but I remember a couple of things we did. We'd have like a rep out day at 185, and the next week it might be like 245. Like we'd kind of go above and below that. And then a lot of like burnout work. So maybe one session was you'd rep out at 225 and then you go and do like push-ups until failure. And then you get like bands behind you and go till failure. But really, you guys know, like, since you're exposed to West Side, but the amount of reps you can do and endurance that you have benching like a football player versus benching like a powerlifter is insane. Like, you know, when you arch, you pull your shoulder blades together, that makes a world of difference. And just a lot of football players and strength coaches don't understand that. But that was a game changer, being able to bench like that.
Yeah. And so that was that 09?
09 or 010. I think it was 2010.
Okay. 2010 was the shutout. Am I right when I say that?
Yep, it was the lockout.
The lockout. Okay. Did that pretty much nix like your opportunity?
Yeah, me being a fringe guy, it did. We weren't allowed to talk to teams. They didn't have rookie mini camps that year. So a fringe guy like myself, I mean, the opportunity was, the window was real short. Agents weren't allowed to talk. I had a big time agent even. So a lot of guys in my position chose to go to like the CFL or the AFL and then try and go in the back door that way. But I had a career lined up, ready to go. So I just jumped into that. But the lockout did end shortly before the season. And my agent had been in contact with the Eagles and the Redskins. And it's kind of the wild story. The closest I got, you know, the draft had happened. Most teams had signed their free agents. And I got a call from the Eagles, and I was booked, had a flight the next morning to go to training camp. And a couple hours later, they called back and said they're full. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but yeah, I went from like, oh, my dream was over, I'm not going to get a shot, to, oh, here we go, I'm going to get my shot, to a few hours later.
That's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.